I know you're familiar with this topic. Tell us a little bit about in your life, in your world, and all those different jobs you have over there. What's your notion of configuration drift?
This is something that I've noticed in every organization that I've been in. And I think about configuration drift in two different ways. One is, even under the best of circumstances, we buy and we deploy a solution. We deploy it with the optimal configuration. We've read all the docs. We know how to set it up, or we bring in the vendor to set it up in all the right ways, right? And then you deploy it and your teams are on to the next project. Inevitably, the configuration begins to deteriorate from there in my experience. And that could be that people are troubleshooting something and why don't we just whitelist this and then it'll start working, right? And next thing you know, your controls are not as effective as you thought they were. That's one kind of configuration drift, right? It's people changing the config. The other kind is where the product or the set of controls is actually drifting away from you. And what I mean by that is even if you don't change the configuration, they're coming out with new capabilities and things that you should probably be aware of. If it's a good vendor, they're keeping track of the threat landscape. They're releasing every month new features. And so they're drifting away from you and you might not be catching up because let's face it, you don't have teams that are probably sitting there reading the release notes for every single tool that you run every time they release a new feature.